The Girl Who Married a Ghost. Narrated from the girl's point of view. I should have listened to my mother. She always told me to be careful of strangers, especially those who seemed too good to be true. But when I met Okenna, I was blinded by his charm, his kindness, and the way he always seemed to know exactly what to say. He came to our village one evening, tall and strong, his skin smooth like polished ebony. His voice was deep and soothing like the river on a quiet night. No one knew where he came from, but he was generous, helping the men with their hunting and bringing gifts to the elders. The women whispered about him, and the girls envied me when he chose me as his bride. Our wedding was the grandest the village had seen in years. The drummers played until dawn, and the feast was endless. When it was time for me to leave with my new husband, my mother held my hand tightly. Her eyes were full of worry. "Where does your husband live?" she asked. "In the next village," Okenna replied smoothly. "Only a day's journey from here." I saw the doubt in her eyes, but I was too in love to care. The journey to the unknown. We walked for hours, deeper into the forest than I had ever been. As night fell, I grew uneasy. "Okenna, where is your village?" I asked. "Not much farther," he said, but his voice had changed. It was hollow like the wind through an empty hut. The trees whispered as we passed, and the air grew colder. My feet ached, but Okenna never seemed to tire. Then, under the full moon, I saw it, a village unlike any I had known. The huts were made of mist, and shadows moved without bodies. There was no fire, no warmth, only silence. "This is my home," Okenna said. His eyes no longer warm but dark and empty. "And now it is yours too." The horrible truth. I realized too late. I had married a spirit. The villagers were ghosts, their faces flickering like dying flames. Fear gripped my heart. "You are not alive," I whispered, stepping back. Okenna smiled, but it was not the smile I knew. "Neither are you anymore." My hands turned cold, my skin pale. I tried to scream, but the night swallowed my voice. A mother's love never dies. Back in my village, my mother woke from a terrible dream. She ran to the elders, begging them to help. The village priest gathered the strongest men, and they followed my mother into the forest, guided by the spirits of our ancestors. They found me just in time, standing at the edge of the spirit world, fading. My mother called my name, her voice pulling me back. The priest chanted, and the spirits howled as I stumbled into my mother's arms. Okenna reached for me, but the sun began to rise, and with its first light, he and his village vanished like mist. Lesson learned. I never saw Okenna again, but I knew he still wandered the forests, searching for another bride. From that day on, I listened to my mother. And I learned that not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it is just a shadow waiting to consume you.